with age and with the kind of lifestyle we have, all of us, for that matter, in a city like Mumbai where the stress factor is so high, first thing that gets affected is your skin.
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Mikhail from Lifestyle Asia India and welcome to the very first episode of LSA Barbershop. LSA Barbershop is your access to the opinions, expertise and insights from some of India's coolest grooming gurus. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about various men's grooming subjects such as skincare, beard care, hair care, makeup and perfumes. Stay tuned for that. Our guest for this episode of LSA Barbershop is luxury lifestyle influencer Rizwan Bachav. So Rizwan, tell us, in your opinion, what is your definition of a well-groomed gentleman?
To me, a well-groomed gentleman is someone who is well-dressed to begin with. I'm not saying you should be over the top all the time, but your basic dressing sense should be in place. And someone who has well-groomed hair. So this is one most important aspect that I keep telling people when it comes to grooming, that sometimes the only grooming men need is a good hairstyle. So if these two things are in place, your job is done.
How do you think men's grooming has sort of evolved in the past 5 years for that matter?
It has evolved quite a bit. Social media has played a big role in sort of creating this turnaround, because earlier the whole notion was that skincare beauty is for women. But obviously that's changing over time, and with the information that is being shared on social media channels, a lot of sort of brands pushing male beauty as a category.
Picking up on the point that you made that, men are still a little bit reluctant about getting into beauty. They perceive this as a very women's oriented genre or subject, even for that matter. But why do you think that's the case?
I can't say that only men in India are sort of, have that mental block when it comes to beauty and skincare. But how we grow up as men, right? Because we are so rough and tough. It's the conditioning, basically, I would say. So we always perceive this as something which is not a very male thing to do. Maybe the ego, or maybe how we sort of grow up, as men. That said, it's equally important for men to take care of their skin, at least, sort of basic skincare, so that your skin can thank you when you sort of, start aging.
I think what we take care of today reflects, like I would say, 5 years later, 10 years later. That's when I think it will start showing.
An interesting observation, right? Whenever you see men sort of going to the beach, they're so worried about getting tanned, or, the sunscreens are out. But that also applies to your day-to-day routine, which people sort of tend to ignore. It's not only when you're out in the sun that you need your sunscreens, but to take care of your skin is not like a temporary sort of process where, you apply something for 2 days and your job is done. It's a routine that you follow for a certain time, and then you see the results for the next few years.
So tell me, being an influencer is one, you have to always be on point. You have to always look on point. You have to be fine. Tell us about what goes into that.
I keep it very basic. I'm not very big on makeup right now because, first of all, I don't know how to do like a proper makeup for my own skin. But I've kept it very natural and organic over the past few years, and I like to continue that way. Few things I've added is making sure my hair is always on point, because that's the first thing people notice. And my skincare routine is making sure that my skin looks fresh. Whether it's your puffy eyes or any dry skin issues or oily skin issues, if you sort of maintain a routine, then, on that particular day, you're sorted.
Just a couple of days back, actually last week for that matter, when we met, we spoke about how skincare really became a part of your life. Like finally you just really zoned into that subject. Tell us about it.
So I would call this a combination of a few things. The trigger point was, one, my skin going really bad and me ignoring that fact for a long time. With age and with the kind of lifestyle we have, all of us, for that matter, in a city like Mumbai where the stress factor is so high, the first thing that gets affected is your skin. It starts showing up on your skin. I started getting a lot of, dry skin issues, patchy scalp and a few other things. And, I started then, sort of visiting a dermat. And that's when, the whole education came into sort of my sort of life in terms of skincare and your general sort of well-being. There are certain things that you have to sort of apply every day, irrespective of whether you're out in the sun or not. But your skin sort of needs that constant pampering.
So this one, now finally we can go out, we can travel, everything's opened up. And whenever you travel, this one, tell me, what do you typically carry in your grooming pouch?
This is a new sort of moisturizer I've added, in my daytime routine. It's really nice. It's called LMS. It's by the Lockstown group. So it works really good when it comes to hair products. I have my basics in place. So the hair dust, after blow drying your hair, I just sort of sprinkle something, some dust, and it helps me keep my hair in place, and a wax to sort of fix certain things which are not fixed by the dust. A night moisturizer is different for me because, again, this has more elements of repair rather than, a sunscreen or a day moisturizer. And an eye cream is by Clinique. This sort of helps me avoid the puffy eyes in the morning when I wake up, even if I'm underslept. One of my favorite products I also spoke about it yesterday on my channel, the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair. This serum I've been using for almost 2 years and sort of helps you sort of get that hydration and the plump looking skin. I sometimes get very dry lips, so I carry a sort of a balm or a moisturizer. Dry lips are not something that you always want, so this sort of helps you get your moisture in place on the lips.
Okay, so Rizwan, I know that you're a massive perfume guy. What are your top 5 perfumes of the season?
My top favorite is the Creed Aventus. This also ranks as one of the most popular fragrances for men. One of my recent favorites has been the Mojito Afternoon Swim. It's a great sort of day fragrance. Talking about evening fragrances, Tom Ford Noir. I've added this to my collection very recently, but it has definitely become my favorite for the season. Talking about niche fragrances, this is one sort of fragrance house I sort of came across when I was in France. It's called Matière Premier. There's a fragrance called Radical Rose. Nice and sweet. Added this to my collection very recently. One more classic is the Acqua di Parma Blue Mediterraneo range. Again, I keep it very fresh most of the times. I don't go too sort of intense with my fragrances unless I'm traveling somewhere and I know the weather is going to be really cold.
I want you to settle an argument on the internet today. Even there is an argument that, where perfume to be applied. Some people say that it's on your clothes. Some people say it's on your wrist and your pulse points and all that. Let's tell us.
I feel there's no right way of doing it. Personally, for me, I apply on both skin and my clothes for 2 reasons. When a fragrance sort of is on your skin, the chemicals, in your skin, how they react with the fragrance is very sort of subjective, very personal to you. So a fragrance could smell different on your skin and, it could smell different on my skin. But when a fragrance is applied on your clothes, it stays for longer. So, if I'm out for work in the morning, I know that I have a 9-hour day. I obviously spray my fragrance on my pulse points for sure, but also on my clothes so that it's a combination that works for you through the day.
Rizwan, give us a quick crash course about how you pick your own perfumes, whether it's for the day, whether it's for the night, whether it's for your Monday meeting, whether it's for the Friday sundown.
For me, my day fragrances are mostly fresh ones because you want to start your day with, something that smells very fresh. I make sure the notes are more on the citrus, vanilla, or, slightly on the floral side. All your classics like your David of Cool Water or your Dior Sauvage sort of do the job well for your day fragrances. Evening is something, again, it's very subjective. I feel sometimes it's an acquired sense. Evening fragrances are more focused towards something which is wood based or something which is leather. Sort of also complements your evening outfit if you're out for a cocktail or a dinner date. So these fragrances sort of go well with those combinations.
In your opinion, Rizwan, what is the biggest mistake men are making today when it comes to grooming as a whole?
I wouldn't call it a mistake, but most men don't sort of take care of their hairstyle. It sort of adds to your overall personality because it makes you look sharp. A good hairstyle is, probably the most basic thing you could do, and it'll go a long way in sort of defining your personality. When sometimes you're well dressed, but your hair is messy or your hair is not in place. That is one thing people should be open about. Find a good hairstylist, find a hairstyle that suits you. Let them sort of suggest some things. It's a trial and error process, but eventually you'll find something that goes with your personality, and then at least your basic grooming is in place.
So Rizwan, you have a beard, okay? Maintenance goes into that. What are your do's and don'ts in the beard department?
Just make sure, again, your basics are in place. So, just make sure it's sharp, from the edges. Clean the neck area as much as possible when sort of you're going out for a meeting, or now a lot of men are sporting a beard. But make sure it's again well groomed. If you have a beard which is very thick, then there are certain beard oils that you can apply on your beard that sort of takes care of maintaining them and keeping your hair sort of conditioned and soft so that it's easy to groom it whenever you're going out.
Thanks a lot, Rizwan. It was an absolute pleasure speaking with you today. Some great knowledge, some great pointers, and we're so happy that you could come up here and also share some of your personal preferences in grooming with us. I hope you stay safe. I hope to see you soon now with the next some event, most definitely.
Thanks, Mikhail. Likewise, always a pleasure talking to you.